Hello everybody, Candy here, and welcome to Conquest Dark, an action roguelite horde survival game where you get dropped into a ritual with nothing but your bare fists, attempting to survive, grow your character stronger, and finish the ritual one map at a time. Join me in the journey of my Barbarian, slicing and dicing through hordes of evil, unlocking new swords and cool abilities on the way. Let's jump right in. Now, the way this game works is you have a character that you get to choose in the beginning. We have an option between a barbarian and a hunter, which is more of a ranged character class. But as I said earlier, we're going to be jumping in barbarian and probably just going to be unga bungoing our way through all of the rituals until the game tells me to pick something else. Now, as for our origin, we have an option between savage upbringing, hunter's apprentice, and veteran of the war. All of these origins give a proficiency, be it in armors or certain types of weapons, along with a little bonus to this one gives you health, this one gives you projectile piercing, and this one gives you a bleed rate. Let's go for the most basic one, the savage upbringing, which reduces our bleeding rate. And in here, we can actually also re-roll our character stats and also their appearance. It doesn't really play that big of a role, but let's just go for Delilah right here. That is lucky, so she'll have a chance for rare items, and also ruthless, which will give her a 0.5% to critical hit chance. Let's go. So for a quick tutorial, your character starts with 100 health and 10 lives. If you lose all of your health, one of your lives is removed. Your health resets to 100 and you gain a bleed stack. Each bleed stack reduces your character's health by 1% of maximum health per second, but can't deal fatal damage. While bleeding stacks cannot be removed, you can strengthen your defenses to mitigate the effects of bleeding. Building your character's defenses is just important as increasing your damage. You can take these highlighted words right here, which will improve your defense, and if you're already bleeding, you can take the reduced bleeding, health regeneration, and or healing souls. And you can also reduce the bleeding, but we are barbarian giga chads and we're not going to be doing any of that. So let's go. This is your typical action roguelike that got released in 2025. Before I continue, let's pick a weapon. I'm going to go for a two-handed sword that does more damage to the elite enemies. But yeah, this game got released in 2025 and has been on my Steam games list for a long while now. Originally, I decided to play it because I thought somebody recommended it in the comments in the previous videos, but after checking, apparently it was Halls of Torment and not Conquest Dark. So you can imagine that I am just like, after finding that out, I'm kind of just like, I guess, played myself, but also I feel like this game is very similar in terms of it's also an action roguelite, which is a horde survival. For our power ability, let's take Seismic Slam, which costs us 40 energy and we'll have a slam right in front of us doing primal energy. Now, the way that works is we pick up energy over here on our blue bar, and when that is filled up, the ability is automatically casted, doing a bunch of damage. Now, while I'm beating the tutorial, let's pick a class mastery here. Let's go for a Giant's Reach, so we'll have larger attack area reach. So something to note is that this is actually not the first time that I'm playing this game. In fact, this is a rerun, but for you, my dear viewer, this is going to be the first time you ever see me play this game. This is because, as I said in the previous video of mine, the audio was a little bit scuffed up. And so I decided to redo the entire playthrough of this game once again. I'm gonna pick up the shiny. I was just yapping for a little bit. Let's go for primal strength here. Increasing our critical hit chance, but also the power ability damage. And let's pick up our new armor piece. Yeah, so the shiny things on the ground are your armor pieces. In this case, you kind of can choose between three options. The most appealing one to me looks to be this one that will increase our critical hit damage and also our power ability damage. Let's go for that. As a tutorial, the base enemies are like these basic skeletons that are not really doing all that much, but I do assure you that this game does get hard eventually. Us and our barbarian sword swinging are gonna try really hard to defeat everyone and everything. Let's go for the execute here. Thankfully, right now it's just basic skeletons, so we don't really have to worry too much about like defenses and all that. We also picked up execute. Oh, that's some damage. Whoops. Let's go for the execute. 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 I should have my auto thingy. There we go. So you can, in fact, in this game, choose to have auto targeting. But for moments like this, when you're fighting a big skeleton, you can like target them, which makes this a lot easier, nicer. Okay, for our gloves, I want something damage related, and here we go. These gloves right here give us resistances along with critical hit damage and critical hit chance. So let's go for that. These green orbs on the ground are the experience points as well. So I'm gonna try to run into those as much as I can. But sometimes I do forget and you end up seeing like a lot of blue orbs on like the side of the map. All right, we still got 6 minutes, and I think at this point you should have probably gotten the gist of it. So I'm going to be skipping here and there for all the boring parts. At the end of the day, this is the Barbarian gameplay where we swing our sword side to side. We start to see bigger hordes of enemies here, a lot more skeletons. And some bigger skeletons as well. I'm actually going to take the attack speed on our two-hander because every time we hit, we generate some energy, and so the faster we hit, the more energy we can generate. This silver currency right here on the ground is our like meta progression currency, where in the future we'll be able to upgrade our abilities as we go. Ooh, the big bad boss has spawned, and they have 10 health bars just like us, but thankfully, unlike us, they're a lot slower. Very, very slow. Let me actually select them so that we get to prioritize them. We got a new level, and we have a choice between a quick dash and a leap. A quick dash is just a shorter cooldown dash that we already have, and a leap, but leap is a lot more brutal and I feel like a lot better. Leap and land, dealing a lot of primal damage to all enemies around you and generating 5 energy per enemy hit. Let's go for that. Only issue with that is it is a slower movement ability, so you have to be careful with using it sparingly. This boss also spawns a bunch of area of effect things right below, but it's fine, very easy to dodge. We can get him right here. Nice. Okay, there we go. So for our harness, I already see the critical hit damage and attack reach. So I'm gonna go for that. Let's go. After we kill the boss, we now face these more advanced enemies that are a lot faster than these skeletons, and I'm pretty sure they hit for a lot more since they actually have swords. Shouldn't really be a problem for us since we're hitting for as much as like 5,000 damage now. What is this? Some crazy numbers in here. We can also leap into them and do so much damage. For our class master, let's go for primal strength, which is a crit increase, and keep slicing them without really caring who we're going against. This is the path of the Barbarian. Just run it down, use up all your health if you have to, just go crazy. Ooh, got ourselves a red currency right there, which, if I remember correctly, is a bloodstone, but I'm not sure. We have a new elite spawn, has 5 health bars, but seems to be kind of slow. Oh, it can block us. Ooh. For our class mastery, I'm actually thinking of increasing our attack speed on our bloodthirst, so you can generate more energy and go absolutely bonkers. Only has 1 health bar left. Let's go and finish him. He's blocking too much. Boink. Nice, he dropped us a armor piece, and for this armor it's our pants. And is there any big damage ones? There's the attack reach and critical hit damage pants, so I'm obviously gonna go for that. If you haven't noticed already, I'm really going for that full Barbarian dream where you maximize crits, don't really care about defenses, which I feel like in the future it's gonna be the death of me. But for now, just max damage, full send, attack speed, critical hit chance, you know, everything that a Barbarian would do. All right, for this class master, let's go for the primal strength to increase our critical hit chance. We're doing 7,000 damage per our ability. It's kind of crazy. We now have rangers as one of the enemy archetypes, and those are pretty dangerous because they can shoot across the whole screen. That doesn't seem very fair, but this game doesn't care if you think it's fair or not. All we're gonna do is just jump in there, do a bunch of damage, and try to eliminate all the ranged enemies while they're still shooting at us. Boink. Pick up some silver while we're at it. Kill all the ranged units. Ooh, at least they get staggered every time we hit them. That's nice. All right, at 2-minute mark, we get a class mastery. No, not really. Let's go for another movement charge. But at 2-minute mark, we get to face our second boss, which is a Lord Command Uredin that has some hovering, floating little spikes all around him. It's essentially a dodging mini game. It is a little bit tough because you have to make sure that you're paying attention to both. Oh my god, I can't really talk. You have to pay attention to the swinging flails, but also to see if you can like do damage to him, essentially. Let me jump in, do some damage here. I think if we trade some health, it's going to be okay. We do still have that bleed resistance by being a barbarian. That is something that we do have. We're not doing too much damage just with normal jumps or like normal slices. Kind of need to make sure that our main ability is something that we do damage to. Boink. All right, yeah, our Seismic Slam is doing a lot of damage, so we gotta utilize that. I lost a 1 health bar, boo-hoo, but it's okay. Thankfully, we don't bleed as much and our defenses are actually okay. We also get to spawn some orbs every time we... Yeah, these red orbs are the healing orbs. So you can just pick those up and be completely fine in general. Let's do a jump here. And since we have 2 of them, jump right there. Yeah, our damage is a little bit weak now, but you know, what can you do? We just got spawned into this cruel world where you have absolutely no clothes, no weapon, no nothing. Oh my god, that was a little bit stupid by me. All right, we lost 2 health bars now. Hey, don't lose the 3rd one. No. Chill. Jump here, defeated him. That's nice. Now I just need to survive for 2 minutes to finish the ritual. And that's kind of the loop of this game. Now, as for our armor, let's go for something that will give us... Well, they'll give us movement speed. Let's go for something that is all damage. And now this is just all about survival now. Making sure that you can fight through the horde. They send like about 1 billion enemies at you. And you're really just trying to make sure that you are slicing through all of them. We're doing like 20,000 damage on a leap on a tutorial area. Like, you can imagine the amount of power scaling that's going to be happening in this game as we play over time. Kind of insane. For now, let's try to see if we can get some more of these silver tablets right there on the ground, as they're going to be a big currency for us in the future. There we go. I'm thinking here we can once again go for the attack speed. More attack speed, more energy. Really, really good. Need to survive for 1 more minute. These guys are a lot faster than before, but thankfully with our leap, we're gonna make a quick work of them. With 25 seconds remaining, I think the most important thing about in this game is just not like going face to face with actual enemies and having some sort of advantage, because like if I just run it down and I don't have my ability or my jump, I'm gonna be eating a lot of damage. Boink. Okay, any silver? I see some silver tablets on top. Let's pick those up before the timer runs out. And if you were asking what happens when the timer runs out, well, you're about to see. Spooky ghosts, a bunch of Caspers are flying towards me. What do they do? Well, they do stupid amount of damage, making me die right here in the crowd. But this is part of the ritual. This is all right. As our first completed map, we got a bunch of currency, some unlocks that we're gonna go over in a second. Let's return back to the map. Here's our tutorial. For what we just unlocked, you have unlocked the Stygian archive. Open it by clicking the location on the world map and then the browse the archive button. In the archive, you can view all of your unlocked content and upgrade weapon sets and abilities with soul coins. So, first of all, we got these altars. And altars, when you donate the red currency, you get some damage increased. In this case, I'm gonna do it 4 times to get 8% more damage, and this is on all the future characters we're going to be playing. Now, second thing is, since we have this Stygian archive, we can visit it and see all of the available abilities that are given to us, right? So in this case, I am going to be playing with the Slayer Blade because I like the damage to elites and I like the AoE, and obviously the path of Barbarian. So what we can do here is just upgrade it a few times. I think I can just level it up like all together. There we go. Boom. And now we have 2 rune slots along with increased ability damage. The rune slots will come in handy later, but just know it's a big upgrade. For power ability, I'm gonna go into Seismic Slam and also upgrade it twice. Now we're completely out of currency, and this is kind of it. We get to make a choice between going to the left into fighting the Sorcerer's Fall or the right into fighting the Shifting Sands. Now, as I'm planning to do both of them in the future, I'm just gonna go into Sorcerer's Fall and we're gonna do this. Let's go. Ooh, the area looks a lot darker than the previous one. Since we didn't really unlock too many new things in our previous run, the only thing I'm gonna be changing here is instead of going Savage Upbringing, I'm gonna be opting in to take Veteran of the War, which will give us proficiency in heavy armor, shields, and also give us some bonus health. Pretty good for survival. For our character, I'm not really gonna reroll and just take this first one that gives us attack speed and also bonus health. And we can just start the ritual like this. Let's beat up a basic skeleton and pick up our blade. So since this blade is upgraded, we have some ability damage already on it, which ability damage should be able to give us, well, more damage for our ability. For our first level up, I'm going to be taking the Seismic Slam because it does a 10% more damage. This is the thing that we upgraded previously. And for class mastery, I'm probably going to be going into attack speed and critical hits. As per usual, the path of the Barbarian lies in damage. If you take any defenses, can you even call yourself a Barbarian? I thought the same thing. The answer is probably not. We have our first elite skeleton that we're gonna fight. He dies. He's gonna die kind of fast. Yeah, that was a pretty quick one. I think for this, we can go for this medium armor right here, which will give us all damage and critical hit chance. We do like crits. Oh, and the first thing that we see here are these skeletons that have 2 purple blades. They're a lot faster. I don't want to find out how much damage they do. They do just spawn and run at you at Mach 10 speed. Look at this guy. All right, our next level up, we can get ourselves Execute. Oh, once again. All right, and in the bottom here, we have our mage enemy that is gonna fall very quickly. I think all he did was just shoot magic missiles, and yeah, that did not end well for him. Okay, so we have our first +1 boot that we can take. Basically, the +1 in the armor category gives you slightly more to a certain stat. In this case, a little bit more ability damage for us. All right, let's go for the attack speed and just start swinging our sword like crazy. Gonna be picking up those experience points on the way. We still have about 1 minute before a boss spawns, so we can slowly farm up. All right, for our trunks, we actually have 2 options for heavy armor that we have proficiency in. And in this case, I'm actually going to take this critical hit damage and the healing orb spawn chance, start scaling our crit a little bit slow on it, but you know, we have attack speed instead, which means if we can hit them very hard, we can at least swing our sword super fast. Wait, are these mages? No. I do not like seeing mages in my melee based game. No, what is this? They're shooting stuff at me. Hell nah. Let's take some crit damage. 5 minutes is happening right now, which means that a big boss is spawning. This guy is also doing some projectiles. Let's see. Our movement ability, we're obviously going to be taking leap and jumping right into him every time it's off cooldown. I think every time I hit him, he spawns something. Is that right? No. I can just slice him. Bonk. Oh, he does. Oh, I think every time I hit him, his shield actually, he does counterattack. Nice. Just Goomba stomped him, and we have. Oh, I remember this. Ah, yes. Pick a rune. Look at these rune names and tell me the devs weren't being funny with this one. Let's take the dick rune. Yup. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. It's just what the thing is called. Let's go for the attack speed. In this case, some heavy armor, so more resistances, but also higher attack speed. Boink. We picked up a rune, but if I remember correctly, you're not going to be able to use it right away. I could be wrong, though. not exactly sure here, are going to be taking these healing orbs that are the red ones. Oh, too many enemies. All right, let's see. For our level up, I'm not gonna lie, I want either crit or attack speed, and none of them say crit or attack speed. Well, this one does, but I'm not planning to lose health. So I'm actually gonna re-roll for the first time, and we have the choice between the two that I want. I'm gonna take critical hit chance in this case, and just send it. The goal here is just to farm up as much as possible. I do see an elite enemy here, which we can get rid of relatively quickly. Boink. Just jump in and slice him up. Oh my god. The leap is doing so much damage, actually. Nice, okay. So for our armor, we can take anything that says crit on it. Ooh, I see something that says crit on it. I have to take it. And also take the rune movement. So this is the process where we can grab the rune that we had, in this case the tick rune, and slot it into our weapon, which will now have more crit rate. My god, these devs were either cooking or overcooking, because I remember seeing that over a year ago and I'm like, was this a typo? The funny hee hee ha ha name. Do not want to be getting hit by the ranged enemies, because if I am right, they're doing like stupid amounts of damage with just their projectiles. God dang ranged classes with their I don't have to be next to you stuff. Like, what? We do have quite a bit of damage, and I'm gonna try to get a level up here before we get to fight our boss in the 2-minute mark. We actually got a level up here. Let's go for the critical hit chance, and this is the maximum that we can have. So now the best thing we can really grab is the attack speed. Swing very fast and do a lot of damage. Boink. There's some experience orbs in here that I gotta pick up. Boink. I love Goomba stomping my enemies. Boink. Ooh, okay, so the 2-minute mark, we have an enemy that can teleport, I guess. Scary. Okay. I should maybe lock in, maybe not, maybe. Okay, on every teleport, she spawns the projectiles. Good to know. Gonna dodge all of that. Jump on her. Eat a little bit of it, but it's okay. Because I think as long as I run around her, it's completely fine. Oop. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for her to teleport and just jump on top of her. These things are pretty easy to dodge. Every time she casts it, just boink on top of her head. The Goomba. The damage that we're doing is actually not as crazy as I thought it would be. Maybe I should have put crit on my jump, since it's doing like really decent damage. Just run around here. Yeah, she's not really a threat when she's really just doing nothing. And I can jump over her projectiles. Hello. And I talked about your car extended warranty. Okay, shoot your thing right now. Boink. Very close to killing her here. Yeah, I mean, it does hurt when you do actually get hit by it, but you know, when you can just jump over the projectiles, it doesn't really matter. Let's get ourselves the big rune. Why not? And let's also imbue our blade with our newly received rune right there. I do want to get these silver tablets now. Now it's all about survival, getting through the 2-minute mark and finishing this ritual, which shouldn't really be that much of a difficulty, I'd imagine. All right, for this level up, I don't think it really matters at this point. I'm just gonna grab movement charge. Sure. We have about 30 to 40 seconds left of this ritual. There's a bunch of purple monsters that are coming towards me, but all they are doing is getting Goomba stomped by by our leap. We're not even really that strong if you think about it. We just have really big feet. Yeah. I don't think it really matters what we get here. I'll just go for a rampage. Why not? Go for rampage. Have an increased attack range and also more jumps. So now we have 3 whole jumps, which, if I think about it, is unblockable. Nice. Ritual has been complete. I completely missed the timing. Let's try to get some silver plates while we're here. Run away from the Casper the Ghost. I don't think I can pick up any more, can I? Yeah, that's about it. Oh, 7. Oh no. All right, we unlocked the 2 runes, so now we are able to slot them right away. Let's return back to our world map. Here, we just unlocked an Altar of Souls, which is an altar for the soul attract range, which is like your pickup range, essentially. With our newly picked up blood thingies, let's increase our damage by 1. We're left with 10 of them. And I'm also going to put some bloodstones into soul attract range. 3 clicks is okay. So we have, I guess, plus 1 meter to our soul attraction range. With our remaining coins, we can go to our archive and upgrade our abilities a tiny bit. So in this case, let's level up the Seismic Slam to level 5. And in here, let's level up our Leap, because I feel like this ability is really strong for clearing hordes. And in a horde survival, that is exactly what we want to do. But for now, this is going to be it. Yeah, it's only 2 runs. I'm definitely going to be posting more on Conquest Dark because the game is very addicting, but in a more episodic format where there's going to be like a 2 or 3 runs happening in each episode. I just don't want the videos to be over an hour long, and also makes it so that you don't have to sit through an hour-long video and just have a shorter kind of experience. But with that said, I was Candy. Please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and commenting down below if you enjoyed what you saw. I was Candy. You have a nice day. Goodbye.